Shalom, family. You know, True Royal had to light a fire under my butt. So I'm here now. So, everybody, we're going to get an update on Amber Guyger. She already went before the parole board and she was denied. And I am so happy right now that I'm shocked that she would have to remain in there, but she is going to stay in there. You got a measly 10 years. There is no reason for her to not serve the full 10 years. That is a lot lighter than what the average citizen would have gotten if you walked in someone's house and did the same thing she did. So she's still getting off easy no matter what. But I'm going to play a video for you from CBS. Hold on for 1 second. Let me get that on the screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Back now to our top story. We have learned that Amber Guyger will stay in prison, at least for now.
Yeah, the family of Botham Jean tells us that she was denied parole on Thursday. Now, Guyger was sentenced to 10 years for murdering Botham Jean in his apartment. She was a Dallas police officer at the time of that shooting.
Trevor Sohaki joins us now live in studio. And Trevor, this outcome, it's really a startling one. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, that's right, Madison and Carmen. When I spoke with Allison John, Botham's mother, she told me Guyger caused her family a lot of pain and said she felt like the 10-year sentence Guyger received for killing Botham was not nearly long enough. Guyger has spent 5 years behind bars so far. She was convicted and sentenced in 2019. She appealed that conviction, but lost her appeal 2 years ago. The former Dallas police officer said she confused Botham's apartment for her own, mistook him for an intruder, and shot him while she was off duty, so her body camera was not recording. She was up for parole a couple weeks ago on what would have been Botham's 33rd birthday. Botham's family has been pushing for her to stay behind bars.
I believe that 10 years, that the sentence which she received was almost a slap on the wrist for the crime which she committed and the pain that she has caused my family ever since we lost both of them.
A lawyer I spoke with said he didn't expect Guyger to get parole this time around since most people don't get parole on their first try, especially violent offenders. Guyger will be up for parole again in 2 years, at which point she'll have 3 years left in her sentence. Madison, Carmen.
Okay. Trevor Sohaki, thank you so much for staying on top of this story.
All right. Okay. I just turned that off. Okay. Maybe. Okay, y'all. So, yeah. Hold on 1 second. Don't know why I'm getting all the back. Okay. All right. There we go. I don't understand why. I guess I will never understand why she got such a measly 10-year sentence. I even complained about this during the trial when it was still going on, that she got off easy with such a light sentence. And she's been appealing the entire time until she finally got her rejection from the Supreme Court that refused to listen to her case. And so then she got pretty much stuck in jail. And in my opinion, in 3 years, when she comes up for parole again, or 2 years, whatever, she shouldn't get it then either. She should not. She should not. Mm-mm. When she killed Botham, he was 27 years old. And that's what the attorneys were trying to go for, the sentence for her, 27 years. That would have been the appropriate sentence for her. And that would have been for each year he was alive. That's how long she would have to spend behind bars. But 10 years, and is she trying to get out in 5? It's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that little short Hispanic guy that she was having the affair with, did his wife leave after the trial? I remember his face when he was on the stand. He had to sit there and confess he was cheating on his wife, and his wife was right there in the court. Ooh, that was funny. Mm-mm-mm. Well, the bottom line is, oh yeah, the bailiff, they were saying, they claimed they were checking her hair for any drug paraphernalia, any weapons, and it wasn't nothing up in that dog hair of hers. Not a thing. And then, Botham's brother, Brant, got up and hugged her, which I think none of us will ever forget that. I think my stomach was turning. And then the judge got up and did the same thing and gave her a Bible of all things. And I'll be shocked if she read one page of that Bible. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's just more proof that the courts are designed to make everything easy for them, but to throw the book at us. That's how these courts are set up. Big time, you know? Yeah, yeah. I don't believe she should ever be free. Something is wrong with a person that don't know where they live. And I remember Botham also had that red carpet outside of his door. And they said she didn't have that in front of her apartment. That's what I'm saying. There were all kinds of indicators that that was not your apartment. He had the red rug. Plus, they said she had a dog. And if you didn't hear your dog greet you, most dogs will greet you right at the door. Most of us that have dogs know that the dog is going to always greet you at the door. Sometimes they'll bark. Sometimes you'll hear them sniffing around the door because they know it's you on the other side. It's all kinds of indicators, especially with a dog. Dogs tend to be noisy, especially if somebody comes to your door, that dog going to make some noise. That's how they are. So I don't see how she could have made that error. So when you walked in the apartment, you didn't see your dog. You should have known, wait a minute, this is not my apartment. Now, and some people tried to claim their apartments looked similar, but I don't think they were that perfect of a match. There had to be things about his apartment that was different from hers. I just find that hard to believe that the two of them lived in an apartment and everything in there was a carbon copy of each other. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Yeah, I mean, well, when I had a dog, my dog died in 2016. But when he was alive and when he was young, he never missed a beat at meeting me at the door. When I came home from work, he was there. The only time he stopped coming is when he got old and he just couldn't do it no more. Sometimes he would greet me at the door and sometimes he wouldn't. And I knew right then, he just got so old, he just wasn't doing it all the time. But as long as he's strong and healthy, he gonna meet you at that door. And anybody that come to that door, he gonna let you know somebody's at that door. That's how they are. And they lived on different floors. I was like, this woman, and you're a cop? I thought cops were trained to be aware of their surroundings. I mean, this woman, she was just, I don't know who trained her, but whatever training she got, maybe she fell asleep in class that day. I don't know. Hmm. And then she was so threatened by him. They said the only thing he was doing was sitting on the sofa watching sports with a bowl of vanilla ice cream. And she walked in and drew a gun on a black man sitting down with a bowl of ice cream. I was like, see, this is why many of us are praying for your kingdom to fall, because of that kind of stupidity that have been going on nonstop from these folks. You walk down the street, that's a threat. You go in a store, that's a threat. You sit down with a bowl of ice cream, that's a threat. Y'all, it's time for y'all to go. It seriously, it's time for your kingdom to be over. It is time for y'all to go. You know what? I think the majority of the cops are on drugs, Explore. I think that's why they turn things up so fast when they're dealing with our people, because they are on drugs. I really believe that. I think that's why their temperament turns up so quickly when they're interacting with us, because they are hyped up on drugs. And I believe it's the majority of them. Maybe not all, but definitely the majority. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. If y'all remember, some of you were still around, because it was True Royal, myself, and I believe LVZ, and I believe it was Brenda at that time. We were on the panel, and I played the recording of her phone call. And if some of y'all remember, in that recording, all she did was think about herself. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my apartment. She wasn't even trying to take care of him. It took another cop to show up to start doing CPR on him. She was pacing the floor and screaming about what's going to happen to her, instead of attending to him and doing CPR. But I know why she didn't want to do CPR. She didn't want to touch a black man. That's what it was. She didn't want to save him. But it was a cop that was a brother that showed up on the scene, and he started working on both of them. And he said he was in the same class at the police academy as her. He said she knows CPR. She was in his class. So there was no excuse for her not to attempt to save his life, but she didn't make no attempt. She was pacing the hallway. That's how Bunny was able to record her. If y'all remember Bunny, she was able to record her because she was pacing back and forth down the hallway, leaving him on the floor in the apartment bleeding out. That's what she did. And that act alone should have tacked on more years for her for what she did. But after she shot him, she showed no concern for him whatsoever. None. And then when she was on the stand, she claimed she did try to save him. She didn't try to do nothing. And we all saw the video. She didn't do nothing but pace the floor, screaming and hollering on the phone about how she gonna lose everything. And that was all. That was it. That was it. That was the extent of her help. And a lot of people on that floor heard what was going on. They heard the commotion. Because remember, it was a whole thing about she gave him commands, and it was people that came forward during the trial that said they heard her yelling, but they never heard her give him any commands, but they heard the shots. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Well, let this be a lesson. Even if you come from the islands, you can come to America and get taken down by these crazy racist cops that are all over the entire country. It doesn't matter. They think we're one black person, and that's how they deal with all of us. That's how they do it. They don't do it any other way. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Only Pamela's way. Yeah, I agree so much with you. She does need to rot in that prison. She does. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So thank you for coming. And I did put out a new product, rice water and aloe. Vera leave-in conditioner, and y'all, it does not have that rice smell. I added enough essential oils where you don't smell it at all, but you get the full benefits of the rice water. And it's something you can literally use on your hair daily for hair growth. And it has essential oils in it, along with, conditioner and the aloe vera juice. So I made it a specific way to have every single ingredient to grow your hair. So if you want to take a break from using the oils, you could literally use this and still grow out your hair. So I hope you all come and check it out. Definitely. And it's the same amount as the other leave-in conditioner. And I'm actually going to put together a bundle where you can buy the leave-in and the rice water conditioner together. So I'm going to put the bundle out there for you to purchase. It's going to be like a twin pack for you to purchase. And I'll have that out there for today. And the pomade for hair growth should be coming out if probably next week, the beginning of next week. The only reason why it didn't come out yet is because they jacked up my labels. My labels were the wrong size, and it was actually too big for the lid of the tin can that it's going to go over. And so they had to go back and reprint everything again on a smaller label. So those labels are supposed to be here this weekend. So once those labels are here, the hair growth pomade will be out next week. So y'all, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day. I have another upcoming live stream today, and I hope you can be there. It's how Hurricane Helene has caused a shortage on IV drips in the country. So I will be going over that. It's definitely very interesting, and I hope to see you all there. Shalom, family.